and Yamaji land. I think I've actually spelled that a little bit wrong. Oh, that's right. Just for the welcome to country, to acknowledge all the lands we sit on.
What time? Cannot chat. You cannot chat. It says I cannot chat.
Who's saying that? Who cannot chat? Can you wave at me?
So, oh yes, no, it's working now.
Okay, great. Do you pronounce it Taungurung? Anybody from there? Is it Taungurung or Taungurung?
Taungurung.
Taungurung. Taungurung.
No, that's fine.
You can hear a child having a great time somewhere across this country. Hi, Kelly.
Good morning. I'm just going to get Luke online. I'll be back in a second.
Amazing.
Great.
Hi, is it Lakia?
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, Frank.
Hi.
Sorry I'm late.
No, you're not late. It's all good.
Thank you.
For those who've just arrived, if you could type the land that you're on at the moment, that would be amazing. Just in the chat. Hey, Ben. Hi, Ben. Oh, your audio is not working. Hey, Bree.
Hey, Alex.
How you going?
I'm
Long
good. How are
time
you?
no see.
You
yeah,
too.
I'm good. Nice to see your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben, did you get your microphone working?
I did. Can you hear me?
Whee! Yes, I can. Excellent. Good work. Nice to see your face too. It's been a long
Yeah.
time.
It has.
I think that's Steph just logging on and Alicia, hello.
Hi.
Hi. We're just typing in the chat the land that we're on today.
Okay, too. You want to go do it in the kitchen? Okay.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, can you hear me? I'm a bit,
Yep.
oh,
I can
awesome.
hear you. Good work. Hey, Steph. That's Steph, maybe. And hey, Stephen.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, Amber. You can see good morning. Another West Coaster. Good morning. Early morning. If they haven't already, just type the traditional lands that they're on in the chat. That would be awesome. Good morning, Jennifer and Jackie. We can't see you, but hopefully you can hear us.
I'm just having my breakfast still. Sorry about that. I'll be with you in a minute.
Breakfast is completely allowed. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good.
Simon,
Oh my God, Jeannie.
long time no see.
Is
Good
that
morning,
a,
Kat.
Jeannie, you've got a virtual art play background.
Yes, I thought in case some of them haven't been to our play, I wanted to share the view.
Great. How are you?
Thank you. How are you?
Great, Jeannie.
Oh, hi, Kat.
Hey, I love seeing art play. Haven't seen it for so long.
Me too.
It looks so clean and empty. It's amazing.
It is like that now.
Yeah, I
There's
bet.
nothing there.
Okay, where are maybe the people who are leading today can just do a wave. Zoe, Sarah, and Nikita. And just wave to everyone. And then Jeannie as well, for those of you who don't know Jeannie. And then I'm Alex. Hello.
Hello.
Guys, do you think we should just sort of start and people can drop in as we go so that we just respect the people that are here on time? Great. Good morning. Welcome to Shifting and Stirring, number 4, the 4th one in our series. It's been quite a ride, a rich and nourishing one, which we're going to hope to continue. And we'll get back to you after this one about that. Zoe read me a beautiful poem by Amrita Hepi this morning, talking about how there is no beginning. The beginning started thousands and thousands of years ago, and there's always been our ancestors involved in that beginning. And today we sit on land where there was a variety of different countries and different ancestors who've cared for the land, looked after it, and aren't we all lucky to be living on this beautiful land? At the moment, I'm in Yamatji country, which is north of Perth, near Geraldton. It's a pretty dry and dusty with some beautiful white sand dunes and beautiful ocean. I learned yesterday that there was a massacre just across the road from where I'm staying, which was a pretty horrible thing to realise, but also this beauty of the land healing and the spirits ever present. And I was thinking how amazing nature is in healing and how innate that is to all of us. I want to pay respect to all the elders, past and present and future, and from all the lands that we're on today. So from Yamatji to Wurundjeri to Tunurong to Lutruwita, Jajawarong, Dawarl, Gadigal, Gunai, Yugara and Turrbal, Kaurna lands, and all lands of the Kulin Nation. and the Eora Nation as well. I heard somebody mention before. Today's artists are three beautiful artists I'll let them introduce themselves and where they're from because they've moved a bit since last I saw them. We have beautiful Zoe and Sarah and Nikita. I'll hand it over to you guys.
Alex. So here we are together on this dot, nearly as small as nothing. And we are so glad you are here today. Sarah and I are on the land of the Tungarong people of the Kulin Nation. And Tungarong country is on the upper reaches of the Goulburn River to its tributary north of the Dividing Range. And I today am sitting facing west, facing the Campaspe River, Borragum. Sarah is facing south, also towards the same winding river. And Nikita just moved north. She's on Djadja land, but she's facing south back towards Wea. And here we all are. On this land that's been continuously cared for by the traditional owners and custodians for over 2,000 generations. And here we are together in this space where time is stretched or shaken or paused. And we wonder if we even follow the rules of the space-time continuum in these Zoom spaces. And together today we can slow down and notice things with gentle paths, and Nikita, as you can see, she's here. She's got two screens because she's going to be doing some reflections and responses throughout the session. Nikita is a member of the multidisciplinary art collective, The Seam. The other members are Alicia Stafford, Marty Thorpe, and Liz Francis. And Sarah and I have been in a creative conversation with The Seam for many years now and make work together, as we are also with Carolyn Bechervaise, who might be joining us today as well. And today together we will do some reflecting, some questioning, and we're going to share a little bit of some work that we've made recently in isolation. And to misquote one of our favourite poets, David Whyte, we're all coming to this session today with our own expectations and assumptions of what will happen in these next 2 hours, which provides a great opportunity for extreme disappointment, and therein lies the adventure we are going on together. And as a group, we might feel it's right to have our microphones off, or there may be times you want to share the sound of your space, share it with our shared space today. And Sarah and I are going to be taking turns. We'll be sharing roles. So you might want to watch our screens. You might want to pin our screens. Do you all know how to pin a screen if you want to focus on one? I'll just show you. If you like to know, if you hover over someone's screen, and then you'll see there's 3 little dots on the top right of that screen. And if you press those 3 dots, you can stop the video, or you can pin that video so it will become bigger on your screen. And you'll also see that it says rename there, where you can actually rename your screen. And we're going to play with that today in one of our tasks. You might want to look at someone else for the whole session, or turn this into a purely audio experience, or look out the window. We invite you to follow your curiosities today. And now, to settle into our space, we invite you to take a moment to just look around where you are. And can you trace the thing that is perhaps furthest from you? You might not be even able to see it. But could you trace it in the air? Might be drawn to another form that's closer to you, or even further away, and feel like tracing its shape, its form, or its texture. Might be drawn to tracing some architecture near you, or the quality of the light reflecting somewhere. You might be drawn to tracing this tiny version of yourself you can see on the screen, or someone else's architecture. You may be drawn to tracing the tiny little letters on your device, this portal that we're using today to be together. You may want to trace the space you are actually inhabiting. Perhaps a moment to just rest in your space.
Thank you, Zoe. I'm over here if anyone can see me. No, we've got a couple of screens going, so might not always be obvious to you at first. We also want to acknowledge that it's really difficult to get to a Zoom meeting and that we're all a bit zoomed out, and that we know how hard it is to make time for online offerings in general, and that they can be particularly vulnerable experiences with a lot of exposure, and they don't have the usual reassurances that we have when we're in rooms together. So we just wanted to start by saying thank you for being here. As theatre makers, we're really interested in how the experience of performance happens before, during and after the event takes place. That work takes place within a continuum of experience. And when we work, we're considering that the audience are moving through time and their experience of the work will be affected by what occurs before and after the event. And that this is particularly true when the audience involves young people. And we'd also like to welcome the young people who are sitting on laps and sitting next to parents today on the first day of school holidays. Hello, we're so glad you're here. So we ask, how do we allow ourselves to drop into a moment, to allow the moment to be meaningful? And what permissions or invitations do we need? How do you invite an audience in your practice? And we know there's so much we don't know with audiences. The audiences arrive with their own patterns of experiencing that are both conscious and unconscious. There might be a stressed parent who's arriving, who hasn't been able to find a park, and they're arriving into our space. a child who's hungry or confused or extremely excited. So as part of our invitation into an immersive theatre experience, a form of mirroring takes place between the performers and the audience members when they first arrive. There's an acknowledgement and a reassurance to allow that pattern of experiencing to slow down and find its own emerging rhythm. There's always a decompression. So we're asking in these times that we can't physically be with our audience, how can we tend to that pattern of experiencing? How can we acknowledge and reassure, to sink in, to be present, to be attentive to their own needs and our own needs? Whereas Mary Oliver reflects, attention is the beginning of devotion. Attention is the beginning of devotion. So we may all be apart, but we do have poetry. And we share this little poem, which was written by The Seam, which Nikita is part of. We share this one at the beginning of a work that we have made for babies. Slow down. What draws your attention? What are you moving towards? What are you moving away from? What do you notice in yourself? What are you moving towards? What are you moving away from? In a moment, Jeannie, our tech whiz, is going to move us into breakout groups of 3 or 4 people. And we're going to be in those groups for about 5 minutes, but you're going to come back to these groups a couple more times this morning. So if you haven't experienced a breakout group before, you're about to be whizzed magically into these small groups. There'll be people you don't know there. You might know them, and you'll talk to them for a little bit, and then you will be whiplashed out of there in this magical void back into this big group where we'll all be jumbled up and not in the positions we are right now. So it can be a chaotic experience, but it can also be a beautiful one. There'll be a countdown just before we come back in. So the choice is always yours, whether you try and finish your sentence or enjoy being cut off halfway through a very important, brave insight. That's up to you.
Hey.
Hello.
You can probably turn your video back on now, Luke.
Yeah. Good idea.
Back to reality.
Reality.
I'm in the same spot.
Wow. Here they come. How do we tell when everyone's back? That's that it, Jeannie?
They're all back.
Oh, great.
They're automatically coming back here in 30 seconds. So they're all back here.
Great. Well, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. We hope you had a lovely conversation.
Thank you.
I wonder if there are words or phrases from that conversation that you just had. If there are any words that are staying with you. What did you notice in yourself in the conversation? What stays with you from what your colleagues shared? I invite you now to use the chat function that we shared the lands that we're on earlier, just to get the chat back up and start typing words that are lingering in you. We may do this for a little longer than feels comfortable, about 3 minutes. And
That's
allow the
all.
words you see scrolling past you on the screen to remind you of other moments in your own morning or other words you heard from the group. You may prefer to say your words if you'd like, or respond physically. And we've already begun.
Oh, what the hell?
Do you need help, Luke?
Yeah, I do, please.
Talk to me. What do you want to type in?
Water.
Water? On it.
Yeah.
Tell them to make the Flores laugher in here if they want.
That's like what let me. If I let my cows type in more.
Hit the chat. Have you hit the chat button, Luke? The little thought bubble down the bottom.
Well, I hit the people or chat in a way.
Yeah.
I
You
hit
can
that
only
now.
chat. You can only and you have to click in there where it says type message, and you type in there, and then you hit enter.
Yeah.
And you're welcome. Luke, you're welcome to speak your words too. We love hearing them.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Book.
Thank you, everyone. We now invite you to spend a couple of minutes to sort of finish settling into this space. I was wondering if we could call on the focus and intention that you use in your practice, you know, those moments when you just know how something has to be. And to use that focus and intention to just see if anything in your immediate surroundings needs arranging or changing or tweaking. Perhaps something wants to be closer to you, or two objects want to be further apart. Perhaps you want to do something with your candle. Perhaps you need to think about temperature or thirst. So we invite you to use almost as a slight ceremonial act for a moment, to use your creative intention, your intuition, to just see if anything needs to happen directly around you to feel settled and grounded in the space. And we'll spend a few minutes doing this, and I'm going to play some quiet cello in the background because that helps me settle into a space.
And do you want the audio on or off?
Do you prefer, Luke? What feels right to you?
It's you, there you.